Good evening and welcome back to the HEAL Security Dispatch Deep Dive. I'm Mark Davis, a cybersecurity analyst.
And I'm Diana Richards, a technology strategist focused on healthcare security.
We're your hosts, proudly presented by HEAL Security. Today is Friday, July 18th, 2025.
And we're here to unpack some really critical cybersecurity incidents that have been making headlines.
Yeah, we've got a whole stack of fresh reports. We're talking massive data breaches, critical infrastructure disruptions.
But also some good news, some real breakthroughs in fighting back against things like ransomware.
Exactly. So our mission today is to cut through all that noise, give you the really important nuggets of knowledge, and help you understand what it all means for you.
Okay, so where should we start?
Well, I think we have to start with healthcare. We're seeing a really significant and frankly pretty concerning trend there.
The surge in attacks targeting healthcare organizations.
Precisely. Multiple U.S. healthcare providers have had to report major data breaches to the Office for Civil Rights, the OCR. We're talking millions of patients affected.
And the scale of some of these. I mean, integrated health information systems.
Yeah, that was the biggest one reported recently. Over 4.5 million individuals' data exposed. Just massive.
And they're not the only ones. NYC Health plus hospitals, the Harris Center for Mental Health.
Right. And the methods are often depressingly familiar, aren't they? Phishing, ransomware.
And those vulnerabilities linked to third-party vendors, that seems to be a recurring theme.
It really does. And the kind of information getting out there, names, birth dates, sensitive medical records, stuff you really don't want exposed.
And it's important to remember, these organizations have to report this stuff, right? If it impacts more than 500 people, it's a federal requirement.
That's right. This isn't voluntary disclosure. It's a legal necessity.
You know what's really striking here is just how widespread it's becoming and the sheer sensitivity of the data involved. It makes you ask, what's the immediate impact, like on actual patient care?
Well, we saw a potential example of that in El Dorado, Kansas.
Yeah.
A hospital there had a suspected cyber attack.
Right, and that led to system outages.
It's exactly. Affected their electronic health records, their internal communications. Staff reported having to switch to manual, paper-based processes.
Which is a huge disruption. Think about potential delays, the risk of errors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They had to notify patients about possible delays. And the FBI is apparently involved now, investigating it as part of maybe a broader trend targeting hospitals.
It really highlights that vulnerability, doesn't it? Healthcare relies on complex systems, sometimes older ones, and the data is incredibly sensitive. Plus, the priority is always immediate patient care. Sometimes security investment might lag behind.
That's a terrifying thought, really. And when medical records get exposed, are we fully grasping the long-term risks? Beyond just identity theft, I mean. Especially when care itself gets disrupted.
A serious concern.
And it's not just healthcare under fire, is it? That's where it gets really interesting, because we're seeing disruptions hit other essential services too. Public infrastructure.
Yeah, it reminds us just how interconnected and, fragile some of these digital systems are.
Take Nova Scotia Power. They had a cyber incident recently. Had to suspend their digital services.
So like online billing and meter reporting went down.
Exactly. They actually had to go back to physical meter readings. Imagine that suddenly your power company can't accurately track your usage digitally for a while.
That's a major operational headache for them and, confusing for customers trying to figure out their bills.
Definitely. And they're just the latest in a growing list of utility providers being targeted. Authorities haven't confirmed if personal data was accessed there, but the disruption itself is significant.
It really shows how a cyber attack can hit close to home, affecting things we rely on daily, like paying our electricity bill or accessing public services.
We saw that with Glasgow City Council too, right? Disruptions there.
Yes, though thankfully, initial reports suggested no sensitive data was stolen in that case, and they acted quickly to contain it.
But then there's the Dutch Ministry of Justice and Security. That sounded pretty major.
It was a system-wide outage caused by exploiting a critical vulnerability in Citrix.
Citrix. Lots of organizations use that for remote access and virtual desktops, don't they?
Exactly. So a flaw there can have huge ripple effects across critical government infrastructure. It basically took key digital systems offline.
Did they manage to fix it quickly?
Their IT teams jumped on it, mitigated the threat, patched the systems, but it definitely raises ongoing concerns, When these widely used enterprise tools have flaws, the potential impact is enormous, even if data isn't stolen, like in this case, apparently.
It really makes you wonder, How do we shore up these vital systems, especially when the very software so many rely on becomes the weak point, the entry for attackers? Are we just constantly playing catch-up?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? But it's not all bad news. There's actually some really significant good news, some progress in fighting back.
Okay, I think we need some good news right about now.
Well, for starters, cybersecurity researchers just released a new decryptor for Phobos ransomware.
Phobos. That one's been around for a while, hasn't it? Pretty persistent.
Very persistent. It often gets in through malicious emails or compromised RDP services, those remote desktop connections.
Right. So this new tool lets victims get their files back for free.
Exactly. It supports several versions of Phobos. Before this, victims often had little choice but to consider paying the ransom. So this is a massive breakthrough.
That is fantastic news, especially for smaller businesses or individuals who just can't afford those ransoms. A real win for the good guys.
It really is. It shows that work is being done to undermine the attacker's business model, make it less profitable.
That's great. A huge relief for anyone hit by that strain. But, it still feels a bit reactive, doesn't it? Fixing the problem after the attack happens. What about prevention? Getting ahead of these things?
That's a critical point. And there's movement on the proactive side, too. Take VMware, for example.
A virtualization company.
Right. They just released patches for 4 zero-day vulnerabilities in their ESXo hypervisor platform.
Okay, break that down a bit. ESXo hypervisor. That's the software that lets you run multiple virtual computers on one physical machine, right? Core stuff for cloud and data centers.
Precisely. And these vulnerabilities were 0 days, meaning they were potentially unknown to VMware until they were discovered. In this case, they were found and exploited by ethical hackers during the Pwn2Own security competition.
Ah, the bug hunting contest. So white hats find the flaws before the black hats can use them widely.
That's the idea. These particular bugs were serious. They could let attackers escape from a virtual machine to the host system or run unauthorized code. Nasty stuff.
So VMware patched them quickly.
Yes, they responded promptly, issued the patches, and are strongly urging admins to apply them immediately to avoid exploitation in the wild.
So that really highlights the value of finding these things proactively.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how crucial things like these ethical hacking competitions are for finding and fixing flaws before they cause widespread damage. It just underscores how vital it is to stay vigilant, keep things updated, especially for these core technologies.
Okay, so pulling all this together, what does it all mean? We've seen this alarming breadth of attacks hitting healthcare, disrupting utilities, even government systems, compromising sensitive data.
Yeah, the scope is definitely concerning.
But on the flip side, we're also seeing real innovation and dedication from the cybersecurity community fighting back. Free decryption tools like the Phobos one, proactive patching like VMware's response.
Exactly. I think the key takeaway is that this is a constantly evolving landscape. The threats are dynamic, they change, they find new weaknesses.
But the defenses are evolving too.
Right. And understanding where the vulnerabilities lie, whether it's a simple phishing email someone clicks, or a complex flaw in major enterprise software like Citrix, or core infrastructure like VMware hypervisors, that understanding is the first essential step for everyone.
Protecting ourselves, protecting the systems we all rely on.
It's a continuous learning process, a constant race, really, between those trying to exploit and those trying to secure.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of HEAL Security Dispatch Deep Dive. We appreciate your time and hope today's insights provided valuable perspective. Be sure to tune in again on Monday for more expert updates and critical cybersecurity news. Don't forget to like, subscribe for ongoing coverage, and sign up for a free trial of HEAL Security Desktop at healsecurity.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and continue to secure your digital world.